Alright, now to wrap up this chapter of our lesson, we are going to extract numbers from column B and add them together, as you will see in the instruction for this worksheet. Find the sum of all sales. Now, as you recall, you could change one character to another character using the function substitute, and then we're going to get the cell where the text will be coming from, identify the old text that you want to be removed, and then comma replace them with what? In our scenario here, you want the PHPs to be replaced with nothing. So we are going to use two quotation marks for that position. Close, enter, and you have now the number without the PHP at the beginning. Now, if we double click the fill handle all the way down, you will see that it did not work for the last two values that we have under column B. And if you are observant, you will see the reason why. The last two values that we have, yes, they have PHP, but they have a different case compared to what we entered in the substitute function. What I want to reveal here is that substitute is case sensitive. Whatever you type here and however you type that value is what substitute will look for. So even if we are looking for PHP, but if they are not of the same case, then it will not work. And this is where your knowledge of even these basic functions come in. If you remember, we discussed a function that can control the case of texts. And in our scenario here, we want to combine that function with substitute in order to manage substitute's case sensitivity. And that is the job of the function proper. We are going to convert the value of B2 into proper case first before substitute kicks in. And if you remember in our previous discussion for combining functions in formulas, whatever the function inside or the innermost function is the function that works first. In our case here, proper is the one which is working first and then followed by substitute. Enter, double click to get the rest, and as you could see, the case sensitivity is now resolved with the use of the proper function. Now, as our final function for this chapter, we want to add these numbers, like sum them together. Close, enter, and we got a 0. Unfortunately, what we have here are texts. Numbers will always go to the right, while texts will go to the left. And as you could see under column C, the values defaulted to the left side of the cell, which means that they are texts. And texts cannot be added together. Sum is sensitive about adding numbers only. What we want to do now is to convert this into numbers, from text to numbers. Now, that is not something you could do with formatting. If you're thinking about just formatting those cells as numbers, it will not work. Think of formatting as the cell's clothes. Those are just outer effects. Formatting is just external. They do not affect the true value of the cell, which is of text data type. What we need is a function that can control or that can convert the answer of substitute, which is a text function, into a number. Substitute is a text function. It will produce texts for an answer. We need a function that can convert that into number, and that is the function of value. We are now going to add the value function in our formula so that the answer of substitute becomes number data type. Once we hit enter, you will see that the values switch to the right side of the cell, which means they are now in number data type. Drag or double click all the way down, and you will see that they are now all at the right side, And in effect, sum is now working properly. What I wanted to show here is the use of the function value in order to convert the answer of texts into numbers and how values behave based on their data type. That's why it's not really good to use the center command. If you use the center alignment, you actually lose the capacity to check with your naked eyes if the value is being treated as text or number. As much as possible, avoid using the center alignment. Just let Excel give you the default position of that value because that helps in ensuring that your worksheet or your formula is correct. I hope that made sense. And that ends the chapter. See you next lesson.